you wanna know me, I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a knee, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely.
Good evening and happy Friday, everybody. Woo! Friday! Y'all know who it is. Y'all know the voice. Y'all know the sound. Your man, James Bubba Williams, DJ Exclusive, is in the building. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. We got a dope show coming up. You don't want to miss it. Happy Friday again, everybody. Hope you are doing well. So good to see everybody today. I've been missing y'all, man. Been missing y'all a whole lot. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. See y'all already starting. All right. Jules, T, Rylan, Bundy, Nat A, what's going on? Brian West, Amber, Layla, Spin Cycle Dragon, William Moore, what's going on, sir? CO, what's going on? Mama Gwen, hey, mama, I love you, my man. Talib, what's going on? Tyler Hackner, good evening to you. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. Everybody is in the building. You don't want to miss it. Good evening, y'all. Tiger, what's going on? Brian, I know it's been a damn month, huh? Neon Death, what's going on? Shout out to all my Twitch people. Samalyn, what's going on, Samalyn? Kareem Ransom, what's going on, Kareem? Edith, welcome. Jason, what's going on? I probably said it wrong. Decent. You know what I'm talking about, though. What's going on? Roller Dragon, what's up, Roller? They said they ain't seen me in a month of Sundays. Well, since y'all haven't seen me so long, I sat down for dinner at a restaurant and the waiter asked me, do you want to hear today's special? I said, yes, please. The waiter said, no problem, sir. Today is special.
I gotta hit the beat.
Y'all know y'all miss me, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. We about to get it going momentarily. Benjamin P. Dixon is in the building. Ben! What's going on, brother Ben? Oh, and tonight, let me tell y'all this now. Let me drop the music. There's not a patron party tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. Patron party will be next week. Patron party next week. You don't want to miss it. Last week, it was so much going on. I almost burned my house down. It was toxic fumes everywhere. So it was fun. It was a good time. It was. So don't worry. Next week, patron party. It will be the Jacksons. When I say the Jacksons patron party, we're encompassing everybody. Randy, Tito, Michael, Janet, Reba, Jamarco Jackson. I don't know who that is, but you know, he'll be there in the mix too as well. So next week, patron party, do not miss it. It ain't gonna get canceled this time. I promise y'all. Promise, all right? Brian West literally had that fire last week, okay? Literally had that fire. I had to show y'all the video. I'll post it in Discord soon. I gotta hit the beat. Bluebird on my shoulder. What's going on? Welcome.
You dropped this.
Andy, welcome, Andy. I'm glad they didn't get me either because when I tell you it was something serious in this thing. It was terrible. That's all I can say.
I know that you're feeling it. Feel mad cold nights, feel heavy.
I had to evacuate the house and everything. Like, God damn.
The eyes feel shifty. The shit we're in, yo, it's all mad risky.
All night long, but the feeling keeps kicking in. Beef with all the girls, bullshit dripping off the chin.
I think I like this new setup. Instead of me DJing from the tall table, I'm on my lower desk. I have more room now, and I get to show my background. I like it a lot, so I'm good with it. I'm good. T, I appreciate you. Shout out Roller Dragon. What up, Roller?
I gotta hit the beat.
Bluebird on your shoulder, we missed you as well, too. I'm about to say names. Who was names? Of course, while we wait for the queen to get here, y'all welcome to the screen. My brother from another mother, Benjamin Parcell, Puracell, that's the hand sanitizer, Dixon.
DJ Exclusive, what's going on, man? I hope everyone can hear me okay. Please forgive the cell phone picture, but I am traveling, but I still wasn't going to miss the show, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Good to see you, man. Bald headed self. Ain't seen you in like a month of Sundays.
You know how we say it in the church, it's good to be seen and not viewed.
Amen.
Shout out to everybody in the chat room. We love y'all. Sorry we have been off the grid. James had a toxic chemical spill. He had a whole East Palestine, Ohio in his backyard. He had a whole Fukushima reactor in his whole backyard. What happened last week, man?
Man, I literally did. So let me tell you, my best friend comes to town as Ben drops the cell phone. That was classic Ben. So doing massages here in the house, do a massage business on the side as well too. We do a pop-up every 3 or 4 months or so. We get everything going. And so we went to go wash the sheets and everything, wash all the linen, get out some of the oil and everything. So while we are washing, while we're drying, once we take everything out the dryer, the sheets and everything are so hot, they're literally burning skin. So I'm just like, damn, these sheets are hot. So we hurried up, put everything in the bag, came back to the home, chilled for a few. We had a few minutes before the next client came through. And so after laying around in the house and just like, what is that smell? Like, it's something really strong. So my friend called me like, hey, you smell that? I'm just like, yeah, I do. And it seems like it's getting stronger. And yeah, Brian, side hustles. When I tell you side hustles, not really mine, but I help out when I can. But when I tell you the smell kept getting stronger and stronger and becoming more and more toxic, both of us started to get lightheaded. So I found out, I lifted up the laundry bag and I smelled it. I'm like, it's coming from the bag. So then thinking anything of it, so I pulled out one sheet and smoke instantly just starts running out and fuming out of the bag. So I threw the bag out the door and then went outside and dumped the bag, and just plumes of smoke just going everywhere. So started moving some stuff over, and just, it was smoldering. Everything was smoldering in the bag to the point to where we were about to catch on fire. Yeah. Had we have not caught it then, we probably would have been burnt the hell up in this little tiny ass apartment. So yeah, that's where I was doing last week. Had to get out of the house for about a few hours. Then we come back, everything was good. But yeah, it was fun. So much fun. Yeah. So that was my Friday of last week. That's why y'all didn't see us.
Bring me. Oh, appreciate. Hey, listen, man. Listen. I have been going strong since 2:45 this morning. We had to hit the road and get to another city. Well, get to Atlanta. And we finally finished our move from Atlanta. So it's been a long day. It's been a long year and a half. We emptied out our storage finally. I'm sharing way too much information for the public audience, but who cares? It doesn't matter. That's what we do.
Look, you heard me.
Yeah, listen. You were talking about so what mixed together? Was it the essential oils?
So
was it the body lotion?
I want to say it had to have been, because this has never happened before. Like never. As long as we've been doing this, never happened before. Now, all of the equipment at the laundromat was brand new, like probably haven't even been used yet. So they just opened up like last Sunday, and it was Friday when we went. So it wasn't a lot of people in there, maybe 3 or 4 people. And this laundromat is always busy. So for them to be everything brand new, I think that's what kind of caused it. It heated that oil the hell up real quick. And so it was multiple things in there, but of course, everything was washed. Now I will say this. User error, okay? My ass, like I said, all the machines are new. So I made a mistake and poured the Tide, the detergent, into the fabric softener part of it. So I had to basically trying to scoop some of the detergent out into the right compartment, but it's liquid. And so I'm guessing that there was still some laundry detergent mixed in the rinse cycle because, it was the fabric softener part. So I'm sure all of that got mixed in. Then, of course, the bleach and already the oil. So you just all that shit in the dryer. It's just like, yeah, we're going to show you what's going to happen.
Wait a minute, James. Last week was user error. I convinced the audience. I was like, listen, folks, James had an emergency. It seems like there was a toxic spill in his neighborhood. I said, look. I said, environmental racism is everywhere.
Look, it was them white ass sheets. They came back with a vengeance, like I was the slave master or something. No,
I'm so sorry. Listen, to the audience who may be getting vertigo because my camera is moving all over the place. Again, I'm coming via cell phone. But I just want to emphasize the fact of how much energy I spent last week explaining the toxic chemical spill that James went through, and it was user error.
Yeah, it was probably user error. It was like I created the perfect storm, and then of course me put him in a hot ass dryer that just like never been used. It was perfect. It was a perfect storm. And when I tell you, y'all, when y'all see this video, I'm going to see if I can. No, I don't want to show the video because my feet are in it, and I haven't had my feet done in so long, so I don't know. But like I said, I'll make sure we post the video in Discord so y'all can see it. But you can see the actual smoke coming off of
post the video. Post the video, and also let me say to somebody in the audience, I forgot who said it, but Rebecca's coming. Yeah. Rebecca is on Rebecca time.
Yeah, Rebecca is not gonna let us do this show without. Nah, I take that back because she has a few times. Like, y'all just do the show.
But if she can help it, she won't.
if she can help it, she won't. So Rebecca will be here. We said we'll get started earlier,
and because I'm on cell phone battery time, and as soon as the cell phone dies, I have to leave the show. So I wanted to make sure that while I was sitting in the waiting room, I get enough time to say hello to the audience. Right. I know there's a lot of political stories that are happening this week. To everyone watching, I'm doing the podcast Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays now. I did my best to cover everything in the news. The only thing I didn't cover, James, the most important story, Donald Trump has been indicted.
The yellow man.
He's been indicted. The orange man.
The orange man. Orange, yellow, orange. Yeah, orange.
He's been indicted, and the question is, 1, whether or not they can get a conviction. 2, whether or not the conviction matters, because if he runs for president, he can pardon himself. And 3, did the Democrats just help Donald Trump? What do you think?
Dude, I never actually thought about it like that. Like everything that you said, though, I thought about. It's just like, I really don't see anything happening because of this, because it's just like, it's Trump. There's going to be something that's going to happen. Just because he was indicted, I always said, like, doesn't mean he's going to get arrested.
That's right.
That's what I feel. I'm just like, so yeah, I'm happy about it, but it's the next steps that's gonna make the biggest difference. So
yep. And can they get a conviction? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
That's the real question.
It's one of those. Now we gotta wait and see, especially with everything still being sealed. We still don't even know what he was indicted for.
Right. Oh, in this particular case, they have released it. It's for and it's low hanging fruit. Like, this is the thing that bothers me. And Bae, you okay over there? Okay, just check. I got to check in with my wife. Sorry, we're traveling. We're traveling, and part of my job is to make sure my woman is okay. She's good. Right. Okay. They indicted him for the lowest of hanging fruit. He paid hush money out of, I believe, out of campaign funds, and I know the audience will correct me if I'm wrong because I've been traveling this week and I might have that particular detail wrong. But I believe he paid Stormy Daniels out of campaign finance funds, which is a federal offense, which is what he's facing charges for. And at best, I mean, he's not going to serve any time for this. The question is whether or not the jury will find him guilty of this. And I think Alvin Bragg, the prosecuting attorney there in New York, the DA prosecuting attorney, is confident enough that he can get a conviction. But I don't think this conviction is going to lead to any jail time. I know Rebecca's going to talk about this a little bit when she comes on. I just want to broach the subject because I have, I have 50% of battery left. So that means I got about 30 minutes with you all.
About 30 minutes, right. So Ben, do you think, will this hinder him or stop him from being able to run for president?
No, he's still going to run for president. And thanks to David, he corrected me. He said he listed this expense as a business expense. So, and the money came directly from Michael Cohen, and Trump paid him back. I don't know, man. I think if I was in a position as Donald Trump, I would just let the world know that I slept with a porn star named Stormy Daniels and not pay her anything. And I'm not saying that to disrespect her, but it's like what happens so many times in reality is when you try to hide what you did wrong, you make it worse. And this is what Donald Trump did. Like there's nothing legally wrong with you sleeping with a porn star.
Right.
What's legally wrong is when you miscategorize how you file that business expense. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna write off your prostitutes, like write it off properly. Don't put it in the wrong column, Donald Trump.
Ben, the correct term is sex worker, Ben. What am I doing? That was on camera.
What am I doing? You're so right. Sex workers. And I don't want to demean. Listen, no. I mean, I really mean this. I will not demean sex workers because they are in solidarity with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? They fight alongside with us. So I don't say that to disrespect a single sex worker because sex work is as old as the Bible. You know what I mean? Do what y'all do. But Donald Trump made it worse by trying to hide it and by trying to cover it up. And when he didn't have to cover it up, because the evangelical voters who support him would support him even if he genocided an entire nation. Right. They don't care what Donald Trump does. He could kill somebody on Fifth Avenue, like he said, they'll still support him. They worship him. They bow down to him. So he made a problem worse for himself because all of the evangelical pastors who support him wish they could get Stormy Daniels. She's not ugly. You know?
She's not at all. You know, it's one of those things. It's just like, bro, you did it the wrong way. You really did it the wrong way.
Just be honest. Let her run her mouth. Let her run her mouth. You're the president of the United States. You're getting ready to be the president of the United States. Like, and I hate to make this an issue of you handled this wrong, but he literally handled this wrong. Now, let's be real, James. If Donald Trump was held accountable for what he actually did, if Donald Trump is held accountable for January 6th, he should be locked in prison for the rest of his life.
Yep.
But what Alvin Bragg got him for is for mishandling how he reported in his business expense of sleeping with Stormy Daniels. And just as an aside, if I have to pay $130,000, I'm just gonna be celibate.
Celibate here, celibate there.
I'm being celibate, man. Listen, you know I already love Jesus, so I'm gonna be like, Lord, I'm just trying to be closer to you, Jesus. I don't need no women.
Not for no $130,000 either. No man either.
$100,000? Come on, bro. Dude, wait. I'm gonna mess with you because what you just said. Let me see. I don't even know my homeboy's taste. Who would you spend $130,000 on?
Jonathan Majors, girl. That's it. Michael B. Jordan. Both of them, preferably at the same time. Rebecca is in our private chat saying period.
Let me tell you, $130,000. No, nobody for me, because it's going to cost me 50% of everything I've worked for all my life, and my wife is going to take it. So,
yep.
Nobody for me is worth $130,000. But if I were to make that kind of mistake, the moral of the story, kids, is just be truthful about your sin. Just confess it.
That's
I did it. Yes, I slept with Stormy Daniels, and I bet you want to too. right? That's what Donald Trump should have said.
Look, it was all for clout, just to say that you slept with a porn star. I could say I slept with a porn star and probably did it and ain't had to pay nothing.
I think there's one chick. Never mind.
You know what?
I've got
all right, y'all. Rebecca Azor is in the building.
I've got a different set of responsibilities, and I'm going to tell you that the moral thing and the righteous thing to do is self-control, kids.
Self-control.
Self-control.
Mm-hmm.
Just say no. Say no to drugs and say no to sex.
We're going to roll this intro, but masturbation is also an option, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. Rebecca Azor is in the building. Like it or not, it's about to go down.
You gotta get me in trouble with my church members.
Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Like It or Not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, a real life ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. He's always coming up with the master plan. Politics scheming, I'm trying to find the meaning of life. While the feds keeps us in strife. I'm your DJ. I really don't need no introduction right now, but you know what? I stay dropping them jams. Y'all know who I am. Good hope, dad jokes, culture-ish, politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. 8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.
Like It or Not starts now.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
I'm on.
Wait.
Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to see if I was on. I'm like, can you guys hear me? But I didn't say a thing because I don't know. I was like, am I heard? But I didn't say anything. Why didn't I say anything if I wanted
Okay,
to?
let's start over. James, do it again. James.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
evening, good evening.
Oh, no. Sorry. One more time.
3, 2, 1. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Welcome to Like It or Not. Well, we're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it.
Yes. Okay, there we
I'm
go.
Benjamin Dixon.
And I'm your host, that does the most, Rebecca Azor. And we got our amazing, the best DJ in the land.
DJ X3C.
And shout out to Rebecca with the Tiana shirt on, looking like Tiana with the bun. Let me find out you in the running. Let me find out, because that was all I need right there.
Right. Look, see, stop playing with me. She is what, even though I wasn't a child, this representation, when it came out, I was in college. And seeing her and everything that she represented, it was beautiful. It was like
Princess and the Frog.
Yes, Princess Tiana. Yeah. And the person who plays her, and thanks for bringing that up, right? The character who is Anika Noni Rose, who is a graduate, the one that plays her, that does the voiceovers. She's from Florida A&M University. Huge deal, and such a beautiful spirit, such a beautiful soul. I love everyone who wants to do the live remake. Yeah. But Anika Noni Rose still looks damn good. She's not like she's ancient. I think she's 21. She should definitely, because the character literally is built from her face. Yeah. She should play the next part.
the neck roll.
Yeah. You know, Rebecca, I said the same thing, the exact same thing, and then somebody brought up Coco Jones, and I'm just like, okay. And then I heard Ari Lennox sing the song.
Trend.
Oh my gosh, Ari did amazing.
Yeah, I know. I was on a show with Anika one time on MSNBC. During the prime, Rebecca, that was the time I think you were watching because you were telling me to stop wearing the same suit all the time.
I remember. I remember.
If you remember that season, that was when I had a chance to sit on a show with Anika Noni Rose and Ari Melber. And you know what? I honestly want to say she is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
So kind.
Period. She's kind.
So kind.
She's just really dope person.
Yeah.
And because I was like 60 pounds heavier than I was right now. And I was taking up a whole lot of space. And I was like, sis, are you okay? And she was like, if you could scoot over just a little, that would be so good. Oh. She was so sweet, though. She was sweet. I loved her. She was good.
Me and little Butterball days.
Oh, yeah. No, bro. You ain't seen that. Bro, go back to 5 years ago.
I have a clip, but I don't even try. When it comes up, I'm not gonna do that for him because I know he's
looking like Roland Martin for real.
No, that was his
where I had the angle on this camera at.
Roland Martin to this day, but Roland Martin and Ben, they both slimmed down.
They did. Yep.
They're taking their health seriously. You can tell. Somebody said from your 20s to your until you're 40, you spend so much time like killing yourself, like putting all these drinks and drugs or whatever, not living a healthy lifestyle. Then you get to 40 plus, and then you start trying to make sure that you live.
Fix it. Listen.
Yeah.
Can I share something? Go ahead, Rebecca. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Listen, I thought I was invincible until all of a sudden I was running to the bathroom all the damn time, and I realized, oh my God, I'm not invincible. I get older. I gotta control what I eat. I gotta watch. I gotta exercise.
You can't do cheese like you used to.
Them bowels, and child, even the urination part of it was just like, wait a damn minute. Now I used to be able to hold my pee for hours. Like, child, nope. Let me go ahead, go.
No, and
45 minutes.
Going on dates now, you have to be conscious because I'm like, that's why I'm like, these girls out here be lying because ain't no way you constantly going on dates over a certain age and you're like, oh, he paying for my date. He paying for my date. You're constantly going on these dates and then you going home to him and no, ma'am, there ain't no way. Not with all that cheese that was on your plate. not to eat all that red meat. No one is going to back you up for about 2 days. No. Now you know when you eat them broccolis and them greens, what goes down in the DMs.
Rebecca.
But you know what, Rebecca? Can I just say, as you know, I've been retired. Babe, how long have we been married? 13 years. I've been retired 13 years. But prior to 13 years, you better watch what you eat before you go. When you go out on a date, you get some surprises if you're not careful.
No, you don't.
Church people in the audience, we love you.
No, yeah. So, but take care of yourselves, for sure. You guys are all looking great. Skin is popping. I
Yours
see you.
too.
Thank you so much.
Rebecca got 10 years younger than us, so her skin better be popping.
Look,
thank you.
Somebody just said in the chat that Ben was looking younger, and I'm looking like that's how it happens. Once you get turn 40 when you black, it's just like it goes backwards. We start looking younger.
But listen, let me tell you why it goes backwards. Let me tell you why it goes backwards. Because when you realize, oh my goodness, my urination pattern has changed dramatically. I cut out sugar. Hang on, where my fingers at? I cut out sugar. Generally speaking, like over the last 3 years, I've had less alcohol than I've had in the last 40 years of my life. So I've cut out alcohol, all things considered. I haven't cut out a whole lot of salt. I got to cut down on salt, but my body processes salt really good. And so, no, you get younger. You look younger because if you hit 40 and you still doing what you were doing at 25, child, please. So I've cut all that foolishness out. I don't stay up late. I'm trying to eat green and, salads every day. I'm trying to, I'm just trying to take care of myself. That's all.
You know what's funny? I think during the pandemic, and then we'll move to some stories after this, but I think during the pandemic, a lot, not even during, but alcohol is becoming so normalized, right? You used to be able to, and I'm not saying I'm going back in, but you used to be able to go to the office. Some people had drinks in their purses, not me, but I'll go, have me a cute drink at a bar to look like I'm not at work all day. But, we would go home and unwind Wine was for unwinding. The weekends, and even though I don't think anybody should limit their fun to the weekends were when you were doing the most drinking. During the pandemic, baby, we was 8 a.m. 8 a.m. The liquor store said we gonna open and we gonna give y'all business. 8 a.m. You was going to go pick you up about 2-4 drinks. Parties was going on online, and we was partying from the morning to the night. My best friend and I would call each other, and she'd be like, "Girl, you drinking? It is 9:30."
Look, James, let me translate for us, for you and me. I've let everyone. I'm letting people who know me in the religious context. I'm letting them know that I have a prescription for medicinal weed. And the reason I have a prescription, Rebecca, is because, you know, I'm in a lot of pain on a regular basis, and it's helped. One thing I can tell you, weed is actually medicinal. It knocks out the pain. But once I realized how free and how light and how you don't have hangovers, you don't have any of the baggage that you get with drinking alcohol, I do want to make a public service announcement. Everybody should leave alcohol alone and smoke medicinal weed, especially black men. If you are a black man and you are trying to cope with this United States of America, do not drink what they give you on every single corner, which is liquor, because it makes it worse. Smoke the weed for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
And I will say that these lips ain't get black from drinking. I say that. They got black from playing the instrument, mama. Like I told you when I was younger. Y'all lied to my mama.
Smoking blacks, okay?
Look, I lied to my mama and told her when she first came to visit when I was at Cookman, like the second week of band camp. Like, your lips look real dark. Is it?
James been smoking like a 90-year-old man since I met him 30 years ago.
1997, dog.
Listen, like, y'all can't be inhaling all of that. Even Ben, you know, I be on hookah, but even hookah, I have to slow down on, because during the pandemic, it wasn't going to the hookah lounge anymore. Everybody people got hookah in the back.
And
people got a hookah that plugs into the car.
Child, the portable hookahs. Child, when I found out that was the thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all is for real about this, huh?
Like, and you know, Atlanta. Oh, and you guys have been going on dates, and they've been really beautiful. But in Atlanta, all over Atlanta, you can't go anywhere without hookah. You go into a lounge, and it's like they're playing classical music, and there is some girl twerking on the side. A DJ is the one playing the classical music, and then they like serving hookah. And then you go to the gas station. You went in to get gas, and they're like, "Do you need hookah?" Where am I going to do that in the 5 minutes that I'm standing to do my gas?
Can I just say this about Atlanta? We drove to Atlanta today to finalize our move. I told the audience a little bit before. We've been in the process of moving. Can we celebrate the universe?
Wait, you live in Atlanta?
I'm in Conyers right now.
What? You did not tell me you moved. What? Wow.
Listen,
no, it's not moving.
Hold on. And just so you can contextualize it, we woke up at 2:45 this morning. We got on the road. We started unpacking our storage at 9 o'clock in the morning. We didn't finish at 4 o'clock. So, you know.
No, I didn't know you were back in GA.
Well, only for a few minutes. We'll be gone tomorrow. So this is
why you're packing your storage from here.
The storage is empty.
Oh, so no more Georgia.
Listen. I love y'all. I love Atlanta. It's not Atlanta.
It's not Atlanta. It ain't Atlanta. No, it ain't what everybody think it is.
I don't ever want to deal with y'all traffic ever again.
Somebody said Conyers is not Atlanta.
It's not Atlanta.
I don't even live in Atlanta. So I don't even live in Atlanta. It takes me about 4 hours to get to Atlanta.
I literally live in Atlanta. I'm like the only one that's actually
legit.
But because you're in Atlanta, it still takes you about 3 hours to drive to Atlanta. And
so
you live in Atlanta.
I don't go nowhere, child, so I'm okay. When I tell you I don't go nowhere.
I live just literally maybe 20 without traffic, 25 minutes away from Atlanta.
Okay.
And with traffic,
I live 6 hours from Atlanta.
17 hours.
Ooh.
But I live in white Atlanta. I mean, this is Atlanta. Where I live is Atlanta for these people.
Listen, can I tell you something about Atlanta? Girl. We were trying to donate some stuff. We were emptying out our storage, and we had some stuff. We were like, we can't fit it. Let's donate it. We took it to a Goodwill downtown Atlanta, and they said, "Oops, I'm sorry, you have a scratch on this. We can't take it."
Yeah.
Oh no, Goodwill's everywhere. No, I live in that type of Goodwill. Over here, you can find Louis Vuitton, Chanel. You can find. I found Dooney and Burke. You can find all of that at my Goodwill.
Let me come up to your
Fashion Nova with tags on them.
your
I'm gonna come over there.
Goodwill.
I might pick up a few things because you know what I mean.
Right,
Goodwill
man.
goes a long way.
But let me get on Ben real quick because man, you could have called me. I would have came and got me some stuff. Hell, I always look for stuff to put in this apartment.
You know what? It was the one thing they made us keep, which I was offended by. It was like there was a dresser drawer that we used for years that had one nick. It had a crack on it. And they said they wouldn't take it. So I'm going to take it home. I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to give it to my son and let him use it. But I had this real old oak. We had some furniture that we had to get rid of. Okay. And I had a hustle, man. I'm like, listen, this is oak wood. This is a classic. This is like 19. Look at this. Look at that.
Like you at the flea market.
And they finally took it.
Yeah.
It wasn't oak anything.
You made sure
it was Formica wood or something. But I told them it was oak. And so they took it.
You made sure. Y'all, you know, in the personal update, I went, who's racist?
No. Somebody rated us.
A little bit.
Who rated
you have to call me out on air. I'm just kidding.
Yo, shout out to TYT. Yes. I'm surprised they rated us because my last couple episodes haven't been necessarily TYT friendly. But thank you all so much for rating us. We love you all.
Shout out to everybody on Twitch, man.
Shout out to everybody coming from TYT. Yeah. I love you so much. They have been rating. They rate every week, so they love us here. I don't know what you're saying on your show, Ben.
No. I'm pro trans rights right now more than anything else.
Straight up, look, straight up.
And they're having some. They're vacillating a little bit. I feel them. Listen, I want to say this about TYT. Like, I get it because Rebecca, you know me for years. I am not the perfect person when it comes to gay rights, LGBTQ rights, or trans rights, right? So TYT is going through a transition. I just made the transition a little bit sooner than them. And so I feel like
their transition seems to be going in reverse a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you, but the TYT audience,
we love y'all
because you are not TYT, you are their audience. So people watch this to get there are other ways that you can get information, and there's probably some information outside of what those things that they talk about that they probably like to receive. So, but thank you guys.
Y'all tell them we said thank you for rating us, though.
No, we did 1,000,000 times. So. Let's get to some actual news because I'm leaving y'all for real. So I try to come kind of on time today. I
got 32%,
but you was late. Okay,
but I was early. So you know who's late? Late to getting indicted.
I thought you about to say somebody late.
Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump. That's his name. Mar-a-Lago. Donald J. Trump faces J. Trump. Donald DJ faces more than 30 counts related to business fraud in an indictment from a Manhattan grand jury, according to two sources familiar with the case. The first time in American history that a current or former president has faced criminal charges. Trump is expected to appear in court on Tuesday. Tuesday coming up. The indictment has been filed under seal and will be announced in the coming days. The charges are not publicly known at this time. Here is so there's a clip that I want to play that's associated with this. An expert on CNN breaks it down to what we can expect. I don't want to play the whole clip, but I want to show you guys, and you can start it around the 22-second mark. David, let's take a listen to what we can expect with Donald Trump possibly going to jail.
Hopefully.
That he'll have to come from whether it's Florida or wherever he's situated to New York. And when he comes to New York, he's going to be presented in front of a judge. But before he's even presented in front of a judge, he has to go through the arrest process, which means that he has to be fingerprinted and a photograph known as a mugshot has to be taken from him. Also, he'll be given a New York State identification number because now he is a person that has gone through the arrest process. Once he goes before a judge will notify him of what his charges are. The official indictment will be unsealed, so he will know whether he's facing just misdemeanor charges or misdemeanor and felony charges. The charges will be read out loud to him if he chooses to, and then from there, he has an opportunity to either plead guilty or not guilty. And then the judge has the ultimate determination of whether to release him on his own recognizance, which is probably highly likely because it's a crime that is non-violent. So after that, we'll get another court date, actually few court dates to determine whether there'll be hearings and motions. But this is the first step in a long drawn out legal process, criminal legal process for the former president.
So
what else?
Yeah. So where'd Ben go? He gone? Why are you looking over like you can see him?
I'm coming back.
No.
Oh, okay, good. He looked over like he was in your house. You said, Ben.
No, my other computer is sitting up higher.
I was coming. I was actually going to stay with you, James, but we had some other arrangements. So go ahead.
Donald Trump has other arrangements. Do you really think, guys, that with all of this, because Ben, we've been covering this since forever, since he became president.
Yeah.
And do you think that with all of this has been very drawn out for all of us who watched, all of us who have experienced him, all of us, it's just been real drawn out because we have been expecting, they're going to pick him up today. Today's the day. Today has to be the day. Collusion. Remember collusion was a thing for 19 years? Collusion. They ain't doing nothing. Treason, not a thing.
Not a damn thing.
Nothing. Do you think that this is going to be the time? This is the moment.
Yes. You know why? Because the charges are so low hanging. He's not going to spend a second in jail. He's not going to spend. He's going to get a slap on the wrist. And if he had, I'm trying to censor this camera. Please forgive me. I'm on myself.
No, you're fine.
But if Donald Trump had not been an arrogant, pompous, egotistical prick and just cooperated with the district attorney of Manhattan, he probably would not have been indicted. But he's so arrogant and so refuses to be held accountable for anything that he pushed the DA to actually indict him for accountability. But these particular charges are not high. He's not going to spend any time in jail. He's getting charged for mishandling business or miscategorizing this business expense because it wasn't a business expense. He was getting the business, but it wasn't a business expense. And so now he's going to have to spend some time in court, but I don't think he's going to spend a second in jail.
Okay. Bubba, do you think that this is going to be the time that he spends some time in jail?
I'm with Ben on this one. I said it earlier. I don't think anything's going to come about it besides a slap on the wrist, and he's just going to be... see, this is a witch hunt towards me. I didn't do anything. I'm gonna be free. I think that's it. And he's just gonna talk much shit about it. And then our dumbasses, not our dumbasses, but America's dumbasses, are gonna vote for him in 2024. And he's gonna be back in office again.
Yeah.
No.
Because
I
it
rebuke
is.
that in the name of Jesus. I rebuke
I do
that
too.
with all the power.
No, he's not gonna. He might try to run, but he's not gonna become president again. Here's the thing: all three of us is 3 for 3. I don't think that it's going to really cut. It's not going to, I mean, what's happening is historic, what's happening to him. So he can be kind of like poked, but he can't be touched.
Yeah.
We don't see major things that he deserves to happen to him. He should be in jail long time ago for other things that he's done outside of his presidency. But here he is, and we're seeing these things and he even alerted us. He blew already. People were already outside ready to protest for him. People on the right, people who have these huge platforms that we're watching on these huge networks like Fox and things like that. But it's very telling because they were all out there. Now they're saying, oh my God, it's ridiculous. Our law, our justice system, our this and that, it's crumbling. Trump hasn't done anything. They're focused on particularly this. And it's interesting because he knows that they will run to protect him with their words, with their talking points, with their rhetoric. And this is going to be a whistleblow to the people who live in the middle of nowhere and the people who live where I live. Right. And then the middle and then past the nowhere, in the middle of nowhere where I have driven by a lot and it's still till right now have Trump 2020 signs. It's still right now. They're still believing this. So them seeing this is going to be, I'm telling you, everybody's saying that the process was long and drawn out. We saw what those people who support Trump do. We've seen people in Elizabeth Cheney say now denouncing him and all this other stuff and all this. Girl, bye. Right now is when we're gonna see those same people kind of changing what they're saying or not saying anything at all. Nothing. But the Fox News is getting ready to send a signal out to the people who was out there in Charlottesville, Virginia,
Yep.
the people who were out there at the Capitol, and we're going to start seeing that during this long, probably drawn out process again with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Look, 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes, which is supposed to be the most reputable news show, one of the most reputable news shows in the country. This Sunday, they're featuring Marjorie Turnip Greens. And and to me, Rebecca, that parallels what you're saying, because this country is just at a point where they entertain a level of ignorance and stupidity that honestly rewards people like Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that 60 Minutes is going to do this feature, they have this like long puff piece about Marjorie Taylor Greene. And then you look at the fact that Donald Trump is barely able to be held accountable, like just this much. Like, he's not being held accountable for January 6th. He's not being held accountable for what he did, denying access to weapons to Ukraine. He's not being held accountable for any of the things he did while he was president. And so while a lot of people are celebrating his indictment, at the end of the day, this is like the smallest thing we could possibly hold this rich white conservative man to.
Yeah. Somebody said in the chat, Fanny go get him. Shout out to Lee. Fanny coming for that ass. Fanny Willis, DA here.
She wants to get in on it too, y'all. If y'all look,
she wants him so bad. You all right, Rebecca? You good?
Yeah, no, something was just y'all literally just. I don't know. It's probably on camera. Y'all gonna see it. It was just cruising past me real slow, like, so it had to be like a spider, and I'm over here fighting it, and y'all see it now.
So I know this is off topic, but the other day when I was in the shower, a spider got in between the shower liner and the shower curtain. It was like right there in between, bro. I'm like,
see, this is the time that you crawlers start coming out. They start coming out, and I don't got time for it. But anywho,
the difference between where I live now in Atlanta is about 1,000 spiders that come up to my garage.
Ain't never come
now
to,
I'm
ain't
creeping
never
out
come to
because I'm like,
visit your
where to
ass,
go?
man.
It's on my couch.
I'm trying not to be a murderer. I'm trying to be zen with the universe. But there was a snake and about 1,000 spiders that I have killed in the last 3 months. God forgive me.
Oh no,
listen, God, listen, Lord, you know what's up. See, now I feel like something crawling on me, and it's just my hairy behind.
I don't.
Dude.
I do not do spiders, y'all. I'm arachnophobic. My big ass hates spiders. I know they probably scared of my big ass, but I don't care. I'm scared of y'all too. And Ben, I love you, bro, but I ain't never bring my ass to your house.
Listen, bro, when you come to the city that I'm in, that shall remain nameless because I got people hunting me. Bro, I've never killed more spiders in my life, and I am terrified. I hate spiders because of a childhood traumatic experience. Just imagine a spider the size of a dinner plate, chasing you as a child. I think I was 14. I had to spray it with oven cleaner, and that finally killed it.
I have with everything
with snakes and spiders, but I mean, I'm living in a place where I had to get over it and just kill them.
I would have moved out. That's why I love Truth the Dragon so much, but I'll never visit Australia, bro. When I saw that sand spider over there.
Remember when we had the video of the lady with the spider on the ceiling of her vehicle?
Yeah.
And they were just like, I can't do their accent, but they were just saying.
It's the small spiders. Google the white tip spider from Australia.
No, I'm not doing that.
I'm good, bro.
I'm good. No, I'm not doing any.
It don't mess up my algorithm. Have spiders coming up down my timeline.
And then the one with the eyes on top of the eyes.
Oh God.
Oh, like I can't do it. And I have tripod phobia, and then those things become.
And here's the thing. Listen, my wife is over here laughing, listening to us talking about spiders, but she laughed at me because of how we had all of our shoes laid out in the front door. We take our shoes off before we go in. When I saw how many spiders was in this neighborhood, I picked up everybody's shoes and I put them up high. And she was like, well, Ben, spiders can crawl.
You know what's crazy? Every shoe that I have, because I watched a special on some channel, every shoe that I have, all the closed-toed shoes, like the boots that we put away, the sneakers that we put away, I always make sure I put something in there and I just feel around and I put my shoe in it, my foot in it, because I don't play. There was a woman who got bitten by a brown recluse in a shoe and passed away.
Passed away.
Passed away. I don't know what it did to her. Passed away.
Eek. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know.
What's the next story, Rebecca?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the next story. It's
You know,
terrible.
me and
It's not
James
the
is
best
wilding.
segue
You better take
because you
control
guys are
of me and
taking
James.
over, and y'all need to hush. Because now the segue ain't good. Now I can listen. Donald Trump got more attention. This Donald Trump story got more attention than what happened. Literally, what was it? Friday? It wasn't not Friday. It was like earlier this week. A shooting, a massacre.
Oh my God! Yes.
Nashville school shooting. Like
Nashville,
ain't nobody talking.
Covenant
It
school,
is
Covenant.
not rolling in the media at all. All. Okay. And so what was it? I'm trying to remember when it was because it's not on here.
So I covered it. It was Monday.
It was Monday. See, it feels like it was like 3 weeks ago. But the shooter, I think this was at Monday, and it was at a private Christian school in Nashville. And I think today was Monday. Today was the first funeral for one of the people killed. I think there was about how many people were killed there?
6.
6 people killed. Yeah. So it was the and it was a former the former Covenant school is the name of the school. A former student who killed the students, and it was student Evelyn, who was 9 years old. William Kinney, 9 years old. Are you guys listening to the age I'm telling you? 9 years old. Haley Scruggs, 9 years old. Catherine Kuntz, the 60-year-old head of the school. Cynthia Peak, a 61-year-old substitute teacher, and Mike Hill, a 61-year-old custodian, also were shot and killed before police fired upon and killed the shooter inside of the school. The 911 calls were released, released as a motive for the shooter, identified as a 28-year-old Audrey Hale, remains unclear. The motive for the shooter remains unclear. And when the 911 calls were released, listen, I named how many 9-year-olds?
3 of them.
And 3 adults who've given their life to the school, like literally, but have given their blood, sweat, and tears to the school. 9-year-olds who didn't even get a chance, literally were dropped off. This happened early morning, and were dropped off at school. Parents turned around.
Yeah. But yeah, they're focused on drag queens.
Yeah, they're focused on drag queens. They're focused on Donald Trump not being president. The outrage. I'm watching little clips coming from Fox News. The outrage that is happening because Donald Trump was indicted. Yeah. Babies were killed on Monday. Uvalde was not too long ago.
Well, they don't care about Uvalde. They don't care about Sandy Hook. They don't care about any of these mass shootings, Rebecca. The only reason they remotely care about what happened Monday, and thank you for putting it like that, because honestly, it feels like 3 weeks ago, but it was Monday. The only reason they care about it is because it was allegedly perpetrated by a trans man, a woman who transitioned into a man, and Republicans are running up the scoreboard trying to make it seem like school shootings is a predicament of the transgender community. They're talking about this because it is useful to them politically, but they don't honestly. And thank you, Rebecca, for setting the stage. What breaks my heart, don't get me wrong, I am not knocking the older people who were killed. God bless their families. It's tragic. My father died at 61. That is too young. I said that to say that 61 is too young. But my God, 9 years old. 9? See, I don't care if it was a transgender shooter. I don't care if it was a liberal shooter. I don't care if it was a person who has my exact ideology. I don't care if it's a black person. I don't care who did it. 9-year-old children, you are a coward. You are a piece of crap coward who deserved every bullet that the cops pulled in their head, whoever they are. But Republicans don't care about this because children died. They care about it because they can attack the LGBTQIA community.
Yep.
That is so sad, Jonathan. Keep that up real quick. One of the viewers, Jonathan, he says, my little one is starting school this year. Already looking for a bulletproof backpack for her. They're running $300+ on the low end. In 2016, we covered a school shooting, and I believe it was Parkland. and we were covering that. I think there was another school shooting not too far, and there was another shooting, and we were just so sick and we were tired. We were literally
back to back,
and we had to. There was a talk about backpacks. There was no talk about gun control.
Yeah,
they started selling backpacks immediately. That industry came out that day and literally was getting all the money in the world.
Yep.
And people would rather, and not the parents, but our leaders would rather go ahead and fund that. Because at the time, NRA was such a big thing. Nikki Haley was like, it was like school shootings would happen. You would see her come up and talk about how guns are safe, protecting the NRA. All of that is what we would hear conversations about. And it's so much so Donald Trump would back the NRA after a school shooting or a shooting that happened or a massacre that happened. He'll get on and start talking about the NRA and how to protect, all the stuff, the gun rights. And then you'll see somebody in the background. Yeah, because it's the American way. And massacres are the American way. Massacres are the American way. Guns aren't doing anything but contributing to what is becoming America's legacy, and that is massacres. Right. It doesn't matter who, but when you would think that there would be some kind of human side in people. No. But the fact that these babies are dying, at this 5-year-olds to 9-year-olds to kids in high school, they don't care. Kids are literally going to school. America is supposed to be where education is celebrated, huh? Kids are going to school, private schools, and they're still no matter where your kid is now, nobody's safe.
Nobody.
The conversation for anybody running on anything should be gun control. But it's like literally so much we're numb to it. They like that we're numb to it. They will make it's social media logic to me in the real world and within the world of our leadership. The more drama, the more small things, the more people we see with mics, right? We hear Sierra wears an outfit. When people get on the mic, that goes viral, that does numbers, that person gets paid, and more content like that is pushed out because people will watch that. Somebody gets killed, those same people with those huge platforms will never talk about that because it's not going to do anything. It's like in the lead, and now we're looking at this mess. TikTok is, people are on TikTok. Marjorie Taylor Greene's on TikTok showing off her guns. People, some of these leaders who are signing off on gun rights. People in Nashville right now who are leaders. There's a photo of a man who signed off on gun rights and things like that, who's a leader in Nashville, in that area where the shooting happened, taking a picture with his children for Christmas. All of them got guns in their hand.
The whole card.
Yep.
Assault rifles. Like, for what?
Yep.
And it gets to that point now where a lot of these shootings, they're starting to run into each other. I don't know if y'all saw it, but there was a mother that was in another shooting that just happened to be in Nashville on vacation with her family. And here it is. She comes up. I'm like, are y'all not tired of this?
Yes.
I know David, I shared that clip with David as well too, play a little later, but it's like now everything is running in together. I think another shooting, another parent that was involved in another shooting was there. It's just like these people have moved on and moved away.
She was lobbying for gun rights out there, and this happened while she was there.
Yep.
And while I think one of the media stations were there, she just walked up. She's like, "Yeah, I'm not tired of covering this." They tried to mute her, but then they knew it would make good TV. They put the sound back on, and then they continued. I think I forgot her name, and I want to say Melissa Joan Hart, but I'm not sure.
Melissa Joan Hart. It was Rebecca.
Was that Melissa Joan Hart who did that?
And she had to lead the kids or people out to safety.
Yeah, she was at another school. Her child goes to a school that's right down the street, and so I think she said she was up there and she looked over at the woods and saw kids coming out of the woods because a lot of the kids there were a few kids outside when everything happened. So that's what they were safe a good bit of it. But she did have to guide them across the street and help them get away.
Listen, let me throw this out here because I've been covering this story pretty much all week. And the latest thing that I have heard on this, but I haven't heard any official reporting, is two things. The manifesto of the shooter has not been released. And what that Fox News is trying to make it seem like this manifesto has to be released because it's going to prove that transgender people hate Christians, right? That's what Fox News is trying to put it as. But the news reports that I've been hearing has suggested that there was sexual assault going on at this school. And whether or not it was tied to the student, it doesn't matter because it doesn't justify what this former student, this is a former student. It doesn't justify what they did, right? Yeah. I want to start here. Even if there was sexual assault involved, it does not justify them killing 3 children. It doesn't justify them killing 3 adults, but you know what? It happens. But you kill children. I don't care what happened to you. When you kill children, you are no longer a victim. You are a victimizer. But the fact that this school has a history of sexual assault and conservatives are, they're really pushing hard for this manifesto to be released. I think one of the reasons they haven't released the manifesto is because of some damning information in that manifesto. Yep. Like, listen, there are too many examples, and I could be completely wrong on this, but I have never seen police refuse to release information that helps them. Information that helps the conservative cause. Yeah. I've only seen them hold back this information when it is something that is damning to them. So they haven't released as I've been working all day long, so I don't know if they released it today. But as of yesterday, they had not released the manifesto, which I believe is going to probably show that this person was a victim in their own way. And no, it does not justify what they did. This person they can go to hell and they should go to hell. They killed 3 children. God bless the old folks that they killed, but they killed 3 children, 9-year-olds. And
isn't it the Christians? Jesus loves the little children.
Look here, man, come on.
But y'all want to be like Christ, and this is nothing like Christ about this. I played a clip yesterday. I got the chance to speak to some children at a school, and a beautiful school. It's like a real life Abbott Elementary, and I got a chance to talk to them. One of the clips that I played for them to see from my reels of journalism was one from when we were at the first edition of Like It or Not in the studio, and we were talking about gun control. And the first thing that came up was, is now a good time to talk about gun control? That was years ago. The question, it remains.
When?
Is now a good time to talk about gun control? And clearly it's not, because Monday children died.
It was
children died and we ain't hear nothing about it.
It was time to talk about gun control years ago. Years.
Before
years
Our
ago.
frustration, there's leaders who share the same thing. I got a clip that I want to show of Congressman Thomas Macy going in with his frustration and being met with somebody trying to calm him down. Ben.
Jamal Bowman going up against Thomas. I forgot Thomas Macy.
Yeah.
Jamal Bowman.
So it's Jamal Bowman.
He's been on our show before, but go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's Thomas Macy who is the one who's trying to state his case about guns the frustration in Bowman is what I want you guys to see, because our leaders who actually understand the issue are so frustrated that the people that they should be working alongside in a bipartisan measure to help end this whole pandemic in itself.
That's right.
To help end it. They are, no, this is not going to end, and that's okay. Let's take a look at this.
Cowards. They're gutless. They're not here. I'm talking about gun violence.
There's never been.
I'm talking about gun violence.
In a school that allows teachers to
carry guns. You think more guns lead to more death? More guns lead to more death. Look at the data. You're not looking at any data. You're carrying the water for the gun lobby. Look at the data. More guns lead to more deaths. States that have open carry laws have more deaths.
In every school
States that have open carry laws have more deaths.
There's never been a shooting.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yeah, calm down.
Calm down. Children are dying. 9-year-old children. The solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school Have you ever worked in a school? Have you ever worked in a school? Have you ever worked in a school? It's a yes or no question. Have you ever worked in a school? You will not answer my question. Don't stop and talk to me. Okay, I'll bring it down a notch. Have you ever worked in a school?
I've got a bill to repeal.
I worked in the school for 20 years. I was a teen. I was screaming before you came and interrupted me. I worked in the school for 20 years. I worked in the school 20 years. I was a teacher. I was a school counselor. I was a middle school principal. I was in cafeterias, protecting kids every day of my career. Clown. He can't even answer a yes or no question. Answer. Why won't they pass legislation? Why? Answer the question. Ask him right now. Make him answer.
Look, if you watch that video, you see exactly all those leaders walking past like, hell nah, this ain't cool. And then you see the like media, posting up, their phones because it's good. I told you, it's not about change. The frustration is real in him. He doesn't care about what's in his face. He doesn't care. He is literally asking this man, what's going on? Do you know the importance of why we should be protecting our kids? Well, it shouldn't even be. Why are we talking about this? Guns. We need to talk about gun control. We need to start passing legislations that actually make a difference, not to protect gun owners. The frustration is real. It's not about, stop screaming. Look at all those people. Look at all the lawmakers passing by who do not give a damn. They're going to get in their cars. They're going to go to their acres and acres of land. They're going to start shooting their guns in the air, drinking their beers, shooting animals, whatever the case may be. And then the next damn day, another massacre. And there's going to be somebody like Jamal in there with his frustration, rightfully so. And they'll be walking past and doing the same thing. It is a revolving door. And I haven't seen any change. I just see the frustration. I see these sound bites that they're making. This is it. That's all we have. That's it. Now I want you guys to see what Ted Cruz, and Ben, it goes back to the Christianity point of it, right? Wanting to add a little bit of Jesus, sprinkle a little bit of Jesus in it and hold on to my gun on this side. I want you to hear what Ted Cruz had to say about it.
Hello, Rebecca.
Time there's a mass murder, there's a pattern that plays out. Number one, there's an expression of grief, of love for the community. There are millions of us who lift the community up in prayer. Inevitably, that produces a response from the political left, where they scream in unison, thoughts and prayers aren't enough. I'll tell you, Mr. President, I believe in the power of prayer. And I will continue praying for communities that are hurting, whether from a natural disaster or a horrific crime or anything else. But I agree with the sentiment. Thoughts and prayers are not enough. That is exactly right. We need action. And what is so infuriating is every time there's a mass shooting, Democrats in this chamber stand up and they don't actually want to do something to stop the murderers. Instead, they want another gun control bill to disarm law-abiding citizens that won't actually stop the murders, that won't actually protect our kids.
Ben?
Yeah, I didn't know if he was through or not. You guys have to put this in context. This is a guy who literally eats his boogers, right? There's video of him eating his boogers. This is a guy who allowed Donald Trump to call his wife ugly, and then went and fundraised for Donald Trump. Call my wife ugly and see what happens. This is a guy who, when Texas froze over, he decided to go to Cancun. And what did he do?
Blame it on his daughter.
He blamed his daughters. Ted Cruz wouldn't know what a scrotum was if he had one. He doesn't have one. He wouldn't know what a backbone was if he had one. He doesn't have one. Ted Cruz is like the toe fungus underneath my toe that is half dead because of an injury that I had years ago. This man is a soulless bastard who really just grandstands on behalf of his donors. And so when he's standing there, everybody's laughing at him. Donald Trump is laughing at him because he called his wife ugly, and then he turned around and fundraised for Donald Trump. His daughters are laughing at him because when he got in trouble, he blamed his daughters. His wife is laughing at him. And the boogers that he eats on a regular basis, like you literally can Google and find him eating his boogers. They're laughing at him as well because he is the Eddie Monster of American politics. And anyone who takes him seriously is analogous to the boogers that he eats on a regular basis.
Wow.
Boogers.
What a
and I would like to be more intellectual than that, but he literally, quite factually, Google it, eats his boogers.
This is we've seen it.
And
everything that you said is right. And this is
big ones?
somebody who like this is somebody who is like this is our leader. And for him to sit here, like you said, Ben, ain't nothing that he's saying he's standing by, period. He's sitting here and he's not going to stand by this. He is very disingenuous. He is very disgusting. And he's utilizing the pain of people trying to say that the left is removing Jesus out of the mix and saying that the thoughts and prayers do work and we do need change. But what change? What did he name something? He said we need change and then said, but we got to protect the
Not
arm.
a thing.
Not a thing.
And these same people, listen, Rebecca, why you holding that angle? Hold that angle a little more. My friend David Packman, who when I was living in Boston, allowed me to use his studio. So people who've been following me for years know me and David Packman run thick. David Packman, I'm Christian. David Packman is not. David Packman said, "Listen, y'all have been sending thoughts and prayers for a long time. If this school is a Christian school, and they were sending up all them thoughts and prayers, God didn't answer them." Now that's a cold-blooded ass tweet. Now he tweeted that out. And he got attacked from all kind of angles. But let's be real. Y'all thoughts and prayers don't mean nothing. They haven't stopped a single child from getting killed. Your prayers are meaningless. Your prayers are not going to God because you don't have enough in you to actually pass legislation to save your own children. So you expect God to break the laws of physics and reality to come in and save your children when you won't pick up a piece of legislation to do the same? And now everybody is attacking my homeboy David Packman because he was like, I wouldn't have tweeted it because I'm a little scary. He tweeted that. You know, I'm a Christian, so I ain't
but when we peel back the layers of that tweet, it's honest. It doesn't matter if you was a Christian or not. It's honest and real. Because the God that they said that they serve, the God that they want us to serve, the God that they would not say, hey, we need to change something and not change it. God is in the business of change. Okay? God is in why can't these kids be protected? You want to protect their parents, right? And when it gets close to home, those same people are like, oh, shook. They want to start speaking up because it's getting closer and closer to home. It ain't just public schools. It ain't just schools in these certain kind of areas. When I went to the school the other day and I was looking at the school, I'm like, shootings won't happen at this school, but a shooting gonna happen at the other school. It's getting closer and closer to them schools with them kids, right? With the charter schools. Look, I think something's crawling on me. Them charter schools, all the other. It's getting closer and closer. And these parents that are having these signs that they're armed on their doors, gun rights, this and that. This man literally sat there and said, I can empathize with you. I can sympathize with you guys. I do think that we need change. That's my bipartisan talking point. Did you hear it? But at the same time, we're not going to unarm them people. What that got to do with anything? We're not going to unarm our Americans.
Hey, I ain't going to lie now. He was right. What he said was true. But I don't know if I got enough chutzpah to tweet what this man just tweeted.
I don't think it was unchristian of him. I don't think it was unchristian of him to say that. He ain't Christian anyway. But I think that somebody, that Lord said, the Lord said,
watch it out. I'll read it while you change the matter. This is what David Packman said. He said, very surprising that there would be a mass shooting at a Christian school, given that lack of prayer is often blamed for these horrible events. Is it possible they weren't praying enough or correctly, despite being a Christian school? Listen, David, I want to say to David Packman, man, go to hell, David. I'm Christian, bruh. But you're so right. Like, let's be honest with you. It is God. The Bible says faith without works is dead. And so if you are going to do a whole lot, and the Bible actually mocks people who do these big public prayers. The scripture mocks people who do these big public prayers, but they don't do anything to change the situation around them. So for every white evangelical Christian nationalist devil that is going after David Pakman and the rest of us, we're not laughing at you. I'm going to say this. I don't care who you are. Okay, I give you Tsar Nicholas. I'm going to give you a crazy example. Tsar Nicholas was the Russian Tsar before the Bolshevik Revolution that ousted him. I support the Bolshevik Revolution that ousted him, but I absolutely no longer support the Bolshevik Revolution because they killed his children.
Oh, wow.
When they ousted Tsar Nicholas, they killed him, his wife, and his children. The Bolshevik Revolution could go to hell. When you kill children, I no longer support you. You're a trans activist and you kill children, go to hell. Yeah. You're a Christian, go kill children, go to hell. You're a black person and you kill children, go to hell. So this is not to have any solidarity whatsoever with people who would kill children. I don't care what these children believe. They're 9 years old. You do not kill children. But we're dealing with people who see children killed on a regular basis, and all they offer is thoughts and prayers. So David Pakman is absolutely right. Mock their prayers, because you know why? The Bible mocks their prayers and talks about people who pray in public but don't do anything in private. And that's what the Republican Party is.
Hypocrites. All right. I love it. I love it. And I think that all of this passion that we have, I wish it would change things. I wish it would lead to legislation being put in place. I wish it would lead. We don't even have seats at the table out there in there. We're watching somebody who has a seat at the table having to do the same things that we're doing on the outside to them, and they're still unfazed.
And they're still okay.
On the floor, they're having conversation. He's like, yeah. Let me just give y'all a little bit of, talking points, and then let's get to some other stuff. Kids died on Monday. There's a funeral that happened today, and they're having conversations saying they don't need to unarm people, but they are not providing solutions that are giving us change. We're seeing, and then this year alone, this ain't the first massacre that happened this year alone.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not going to be the last. Rebecca, I got 2% left, and I don't have a charger.
We got 10 minutes left. We're ending this at 9:30. We're not going to 10.
But Ben only got 3% anyway, so we're gonna lose him regardless.
2%. I'm gonna be out of it. Listen, Rebecca. I want to say good night and goodbye to everyone. Rebecca, James, thank y'all so much for what y'all are continuing to do. I'm gonna be back as soon as I get the charger, maybe next week, but I'll be there. But you said something really, really, really critical, Rebecca. They saw these children die and they won't do anything to change it. But what they are doing is they're using it as an opportunity to attack the LGBTQIA community. Yep. And so, they look at me strange or like, you're a Christian and you're not standing up for these Christian babies. No, I'm standing up for these Christian babies enough to try to make sure that no other baby, I don't care if you're Christian or not, gets killed. But these people worship guns. What's that man name we just watched? Ted Cruz. He worships guns. More specifically, he worships the money that the NRA will give him. And so when they sit around and try to act like they're so offended because 3 Christian babies were killed, you got to understand, they don't really care about those babies. They care about the fact that they can attack the LGBTQIA community around this. So Ted Cruz, listen, somebody put it in the chat room when I was speaking about the Bible mocks them. The Bible says this: everybody who's crying, Jesus, Jesus, everyone who's crying, Lord, Lord, when Jesus gets back, Jesus is going to say to these people, go to hell. It's the part for me. You work evangelicals. Like Tim's, they are not Christian remotely. They are on their way to, because they are more interested in money that the ends them than the life of children. That's all I can.
No, Ben, you said it. Love you. Mean it.
Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Love you, brother.
Thank y'all. Love y'all. I'll see y'all.
Love you too.
I'll be behind my real camera and real microphone next week. Love y'all.
And we'll be waiting. We'll be right here with you. Okay. Now, there are 2 other stories I really want to make sure that we get through before we get out of here. And it sucks because they're kind of heavy. I'm going to quickly mention this one because we know everything that's happening in Florida. DeSantis is making sure that it is completely going to be anti-Black in every which way or form, and especially in the the schools. He wants to make sure that he removes everything. If we're talking critical race theory, if we haven't heard the phrase for a while, that's because DeSantis is holding it, and that is the governor of Florida. Ron DeSantis is holding it between his butt cheeks because he wants it for himself. He wants to make sure that critical race theory is something that he builds upon in his legacy. Florida school has banned Disney's Ruby Bridges film. The movie about the first Black student to integrate an all-white school in New Orleans was pulled after a parent argued the film would teach their children about the sins of racism. According to The Guardian, the parent, Emily Conklin, filed they gave her name. Emily Conklin filed an official complaint to stop the North Shore Elementary School from showing Ruby Bridges. In the document, she argued the content wasn't appropriate for second graders, and the Disney movie would show the students that white people hate Black people. In addition, Conklin noted the movie's use of several racial slurs and one instance where adults yell, "I'm going to hang you." She also said Ruby Bridges would be more appropriate for an 8th grade class. Conklin's outrage sparked a few weeks ago after the school sent permission slips to parents asking their consent to show the movie to their children. Conklin refused to let her child watch the film, as did another family. I'm not shocked about that, but my thing is, when the mother stated that there was a fear that the film would teach their children about the sins of racism.
Now, I'm gonna let you finish because
I ain't got nothing else to say to that,
some
baby.
thoughts. Because that right there, if that was your reason for pulling the book, for pulling that documentary, then girl, you said a lot about yourself. Like, honestly, and I'll be truthful, I've never heard of this story before, and I've actually never seen it. Y'all know I'm a Disney
you don't
person.
Know anything about Ruby? You didn't learn it in school?
No, we didn't cover this. They didn't show us these, and I'm from Alabama.
But you know what's interesting is because she's about 50. She's in her 50s now. She's young. This happened yesterday.
Oh yeah, so that we wouldn't have talked about it yet in my era of being in school. So now I have to go check it out. Now, can I agree and after I watch it, then I can say this or not, and it'll let me know. Like, okay, yeah, it may have been too young for the class. It may have been too much information for second graders. Okay, second grade, cool. But now, if you just want to say take your child out, not everybody feel the same way you do. Just take your child out. Don't let them come that day. But I mean, if I see that it might be too young for that grade age, okay, yeah, I can see that. But if you saying because you don't want them to teach you whatever the hell she said, that BS, that ain't it, baby. That's just not it.
So I feel like, look at her. Listen, are you looking at this? Was just,
I've never.
You know why? The grandparent is upset. The grandparent could have been the one in the video.
Wait, there was the grandparent that was upset.
I think it was like the grandparent or the parent. It doesn't matter. The parent could have been the one.
The parent could have been the one.
Her. The grandparent could have been the one bullying her. The aunties and uncles could have been the ones bullying her. There's a video that's showing Ruby Bridges. I watched it in elementary school. There's a video that's showing Ruby Bridges walking as a baby girl with feds because they wanted to integrate the school in the area. And they're holding up signs. The people who are holding up signs are still alive. They're holding up signs, got kids holding up signs, people spitting on them, kids spitting on them, and telling her, literally, go back, Nigger, hard ER. Go back to where you came from. We don't need that. A woman looks into the camera and starts spewing out nasty things about a 6-year-old.
So is this a documentary or is it just like a?
So Disney's probably doing it in a docu-style movie for her about it. But I watched a few documentaries from me being in elementary school all the way up to me being in college. Even read a few articles on it for work, for papers that we had to write on Ruby Bridges.
Yeah. So now I'll tell you, we were always told about the other students that had to go into the school when they first integrated. So we never talked about Ruby Bridges, so now I'm gonna have to go. Like, I remember seeing the pictures and some of the from some of the film, like in books and somewhere else, but yeah, I've never watched the documentary on this, so now I definitely have to go watch it.
Yeah. So poor baby, but her teachers protected her while she was in school. A lot of people were threatening to hurt the school. All of this is, these same people are the armed ones as well in America,
of course,
to this day, with the same mindset, who are saying they don't want us to look at what they did in the past as they do it in some other way, shape, or form in this future. As they look at this, look at the baby. And that was from a movie. That was from like a movie. This is the real one.
Wow.
Tired. Kids need to know that this was happening. And there's a way that it was taught to me. We didn't get to see it with them yelling at her or whatever. What we got to see was the fact that she made history, right? Why can't a child see that Ruby Bridges desegregated the school? That's how it was taught to me in elementary as we leveled up. So it's the parents that are afraid that they'll be looked at crazy. But that's a conversation that you have to have with your child in this climate. Yeah. America's history is trash.
Oh, yeah. And that was just in the 50s and the 60s, y'all. Just be real with that. It was just 50s and 60s.
Yep. So we reached 9:30. I really have somewhere to be, so I can't stay with you all tonight. However, I did want to mention this last story about Jonathan Majors. I have nothing really on it right now. We know that the actor Jonathan Majors, who is if you haven't seen Creed, he's actually one of the lead actors in Creed.
And Kang, and don't forget Kang and Kang the Conqueror. Like, it was like badass.
That was his name?
Kang the Conqueror. Yeah, Conqueror.
That was the name of the movie?
No, it's Ant-Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, yeah. I heard of that.
Yeah, Kang.
Okay. Yeah. But Jonathan Majors, very handsome man. The actor Jonathan Majors has been arrested in New York on charges of assault and harassment. But his attorneys has since said that the accuser in the case has recanted the assault allegations since the arrest happened. And this is according to a report in the Los Angeles Times. New York City police said Majors was involved in a domestic dispute on Saturday with a 30-year-old woman. They're claiming that she's white. Rumors have it. Police responded at about 11 a.m. to a 911 call inside an apartment in the Chelsea neighborhood in Manhattan, saying, quote, the victim informed police she was assaulted, and continued on. Officers placed a 33-year-old male into custody without incident. The victim sustained minor injuries to her head and her neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition. Majors was no longer in police custody as of Saturday night, and a representative for Majors denied any wrongdoing by the actor. He has done nothing wrong, they said, and then continued on with, we look forward to clearing his name and clearing this up. The LA Times later reported that Majors' attorney, Priya Chaudhry, had told the newspapers that the lawyer's team had obtained 2 written statements from the woman recanting the allegations. And I know recently there were text messages that came out between both parties, Majors and the alleged victim. And it was put out by Majors' camp, his representatives, and it wasn't helping. It wasn't helping this case. In the text message, it was giving more so. He called her a bitch and told her bye, get out of my life. And she said something along the lines of, I told them not to press any charges on you, or something like that. I couldn't really read because it was so small and blurry for me. But I say this to say, at the height of his career, as I'm loving on him through all the pictures and everything, this came out literally like the next day. In almost like, yeah. And then when this came out, people who work with him were coming out saying that he puts people in a hostile environment when he's on set. Those articles were coming out. And then it was more so, I am focusing on, if he did that, no, we're not beating on women. We're not doing that. And if he didn't do that, I want to see him innocent. And I want everybody who wrote those think pieces already, because people already wrote the think pieces about how not to praise certain actors all too soon because they all have these terrible parts of them. You know, I want them to go ahead and rewrite something, an apology. Or if he did it, I want for him to get everything that comes coming to him. I don't care how fine you are.
Yeah, agreed. You know, it's one of those things that they did put out a statement about this extremely quickly. So that kind of leads me to believe, like, okay, because everybody is saying one thing that has been confirmed is that he is the one that called 911.
Okay.
So why, and just being, how can I say it? Like, why would I call the police on, if I did something, why would I call the police on myself and indict myself? You know, you got some people that'll do it, but most people, they're just not going to do that. So I really think I think potentially that he did call and she may have been having a mental situation. I just want everything to come out. You know, I'm just ready for everything to come out.
I'm ready because there's too many
I hate to cut I hate to cut my baby daddy off like that, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Girl, don't start.
Okay,
because
that's my man. But if my man is putting his hands on people,
your man,
you can go put your hands on people, put in the jail. Because we're not putting hands on people. If he did that, he could belongs in the jail. However, if we're innocent until proven guilty, because it only applies to this and this and this. It should apply everywhere. I want to see what goes on. I want to know. I want to know what happened. I want to hear. I want more details. They're keeping it real light. I think whatever's about to come off, we're gonna hear more about it.
And then I hate how the Army went on, and I mean, I'm kind of glad.
Deleted his commercial.
I'm kind of glad they did, because when I saw the Army commercial, I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, you fine, but don't do no fucking Army commercial. Don't do nothing for this punk ass country. I'm sorry. This is how I felt. I hated seeing that Army commercial. Don't do nothing for them. But then, you know, I'm glad they kind of pulled that ad. I didn't like it. I'm cool with it.
I didn't get to see it, but we'll see. We'll see as the developments arise. I want to get
Rebecca real quick.
Yes.
The jail time might kind of increase his it might
not at all. You can keep that quickness because.
I guess it's different with us. I want a thug. So go ahead, Rebecca.
He gives me that. Well, he gives me a nice, I told you, civil rights type pull up on you with the good shoe. No, see, we gotta wait till more details come out.
Yeah, next week.
We'll wait till more details come out. I love, tonight being with you guys. I appreciate you guys still holding it down for us. Also, we'll be here on next Friday. I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Continue to push our show. I know it's a struggle for us doing these Friday nights, but we gonna be here. We're gonna be right here.
And next week, patron party as well too. Rebecca, you can pull up for a few minutes. We're doing the Jacksons next week.
What next Friday?
Next Friday.
All right.
And y'all, I'm sorry, Rebecca, too. By Friday night. It was so much the stuff that went on Friday. Rebecca was the first person I called when I damn near burnt the house down, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I apologize, Becca.
That's why we missed the show last week. It wasn't only because of Bubba, but it was a lot of technical difficulties happening in the background, and then Bubba had his instance happen. So we wanted to make sure everybody was good and make sure the whole family was here as well. And so we're here now. You guys, thank you for supporting us. If you are not a patron right now, make sure you go to patreon.com/like-it-or-not. Patreon.com/like-it-or-not. Get in on supporting the family. I love y'all guys so much. It could be $1, $2, $3. We love y'all.
Whatever.
We
love it. Please.
We need it. And if you want to give directly, which is the way that we prefer, because when it's given to the what is this thing? What is it on YouTube? When it's given to YouTube, the super chat, we don't get it. And when we do get it, it's like if you send a certain amount, we're gonna get next to nothing. Because they get all of it. So if you want to send to us straight away, you can do it on Cash App, DJ X3C and Becca's Voice. DJ X3C and Becca's Voice. I love y'all guys so much, and I mean it. And I will see you on next Friday.
Definitely. Before David gets out there, love you, Rebecca. See you. I'm about to see you tomorrow. Before we get out of here, we're gonna roll the video that David has for us. But I do want to give you your affirmation before we get the hell out of here, man. It's good seeing everybody. Love y'all. Mean it. Your affirmation for this week: I commit myself to my own personal growth. Hey, I commit myself to my own personal growth. Love y'all. Mean it. We will see y'all next Friday. David, roll that video, sir. Deuces. And I do it midweek, so damn it, I will. Later, y'all. Bye.
This how all my people feel, but we gotta learn. We complained enough, let me change it up. Everything I just said, everybody I know think the same way. See, they don't wanna see us vote, and we never do, so we see the same thing. But all our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, cause if I don't, you would probably never know. First thing first, you know back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor, or the governor, and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws, they just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch, yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do, okay y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws, they the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president. Now the 3rd branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon, they had justice. So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in, cause they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life on the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back. Grocery store food better, custody of your kids back. Homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters. Me and you, somebody told us that the government wanna keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is cause we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the pros.
I'm so indicted, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to go to jail, and I don't like it. I'm so indicted, and I just can't hide it. I know. I am so screwed.